Hi fellow gamers, my name is Austin John, and today we are going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch Pro.
The Nintendo Switch 2 has been leaked, and it is getting some pretty massive updates.
For Switch Pro, which is what people are calling this new refresh that Nintendo is supposedly working on. And it would seem as though that new model is coming in the not-so-distant future, if this Bloomberg article is to be believed. No doubt people want to know how powerful this Switch Pro is going to be. Well, apparently there will be enough of a hardware upgrade that it will be able to output 4K ultra-high definition graphics when paired with TV. So when docked, it can output up to 4K. Nintendo to use new NVIDIA graphics chip in 2021 Switch upgrade. So it's not just the bigger screen, they are going to improve the performance, and this upgraded NVIDIA Core chip apparently is going to have better graphics and processing for a new Switch model planned for the year-end shopping season.
If I had to guess, I would say this new Switch will get some exclusives. It'll have a better chip and can run some better games.
Nintendo Switch Pro rumors USA, but I think we're getting to the point now where I can't even say that they're rumors anymore because something is coming. Well, anyway, Bloomberg talked to some insiders who know things about Nintendo's upcoming products, and they spoke on this new Nintendo Switch Pro, and we're probably getting an announcement very soon, maybe even before E3. And there's a good chance we may see this new, more powerful Switch this year.
According to Mr. Furukawa, saying, "We publish information at the right time. I will refrain from talking about the new model. However, we will continue to pursue play in the future, so we will announce it when the time comes."
Nintendo Switch Pro.
Nintendo Switch Pro.
Switch Pro.
Switch Pro.
Switch Pro.
What the fuck?
Nintendo Switch OLED. It's disappointing, and I'm flaccid.
It's just gonna be a better screen. So this screen is they got a 7-inch OLED screen, which is supposed to make the visuals look a lot better instead of I guess the 6.2-inch screen I had before. And it has like a wide stand now, so you can just lay it down with it has a better stand, I guess. And it has a Ethernet port for the Switch, so it's like.
There's no 4K. That is going to be something we have to discuss. No 4K. This is not a 4K Switch, and I am just feeling all interesting now. It's not 4K.
No enhanced NVIDIA chipset as rumored, no increased clocking of, CPU or whatnot, no DLSS. So same old performance for what is definitely an aging console.
So what we have here is not a Switch Pro, but more a fancier regular Switch. So what are your thoughts on that, Alex?
I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, from the, oft-rumored Pro model.
Wide adjustable stand. Okay, cool. Obviously, right now we have the little teeny tiny Nintendo Switch stand. So now we're getting a real stand. Whoop-de-doo. That's, something you gotta advertise.
Battery life is the same. Battery life is the same.
Same battery life is something of a disappointment. I thought the OLED technology would actually allow for power saving because of the way the tech works and how it lights up individual pixels, and in darker scenes, for example, the screen consumes less energy, and so I thought all of that will ultimately pave the way for longer battery life, but it doesn't turn out to be that way according to the official specs.
And then upgraded internal storage. That's cool. 64 gigs versus the original's 32 gigs. It's not a ton. It's really not a ton.
64 gigabytes of internal storage memory, which is utterly pathetic in this day and age. Yes, it is a step up from 32 gigabytes, but really not by much. It's still nowhere near enough space to accommodate a decent amount of Switch games. You would still have to essentially get a separate micro SD card to be safe on storage, which is an additional expense because Nintendo, I think, kind of cheapened out.
Let's talk about that price, actually. The price
baffles me a little bit.
Another aspect that I find bad about this whole ordeal is, I would say, the price.
It's a $50 extra price that apparently you have to pay for an OLED version of a Switch.
If you think about it, this Xbox Series S is cheaper than the Switch OLED edition. It's $300 versus $350, so that's kind of weird to think about.
That we're getting the same thing where it's more money. It's more money, but it doesn't actually enhance the games at all. These feel like the kinds of upgrades that would just come to the base model.
And I can't help but feel a little like there isn't really a huge reason to get this Switch.
Same Joy-Con, so you still get a little bit of that drift issue.
They keep releasing new Switches and new models and new colors and new versions without addressing Joy-Con drift. Like, is Joy-Con drift unfixable? That just is part of the Switch and there's nothing they can do about it?
Lately, the recent games that have been coming out for Switch are coming through some frame rate problems, okay? At this moment, the games that are coming out are like 720p and they're barely hitting 30 frames. They're kind of hovering in that 20 to 30 territory.
Because the Switch is struggling. I'm just tired of playing games that are struggling to run, that I'm seeing having to use this adaptive resolution and get all low res. I mean, everything. Mario Golf, it's panning over like the hills and you can see everything's all chunky and blocky until the camera gets close enough to it. And
Age of Calamity, there are sections of that game that just go down to single-digit frame rates when a bunch of explosions and chaos are going on, or you're trying to play at co-ops.
And Hyrule Warriors on Switch, it drops into single digits. Like, I love the Switch, but it's not performing to the standard that we should be at this point.
And that pretty much rounds out the Nintendo Switch OLED model. Is it a massive upgrade? Fuck no. Is it what anybody expected? No. But am I gonna blame Nintendo for that actually? No. Because the Nintendo Switch Pro leaks were about as legitimate as a fucking anti-vax tutorial on Facebook.
I can guarantee you, I will, you probably will, the media probably will. We're all gonna go straight back into 4K Switch and wondering if Nintendo will make a 4K Switch, and it'll be like this never happened. We're gonna have to deal with these rumors all over again. From nothing from Nintendo, from Bloomberg reporting, from YouTubers, to all these sources and fake leaks. It's gonna start all over again. And I'm just done. I'm over it. I'm sick of talking about a Switch Pro that doesn't exist.
When you hype yourself up, it's always going to let you down.